Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs have reached new heights within the last 6 games, and in large part it's been due to his highly discussed large three-point volume shot diet. Wemby's shooting volume is not only historic for his size, but also his age. Through 17 games, he has shot 157 threes, and 150 of them have come from above the break, which is where he really makes his hay. Wembanyama has been a nightmare for bigs who are used to helping on the interior. Here's an example where Alexander Sarr leaves him for just 1 second, and Wembanyama has been instructed to make him pay. During Wembanyama's 50-point career high against the Wizards that included 8 of 16 from downtown, Wembanyama made Valanciunas borderline unplayable because if Valanciunas had even a thought of playing help defense, Wembanyama was able to knock it down before Valanciunas could recover. This treatment isn't just reserved for a slow-footed big like Valanciunas. Here's an example where Draymond Green reaches on the drive from Tyus Jones and Wembanyama has too much space and too much time to knock it down. We've seen Wemby punish help defending bigs and make threes in transition, but Mitch Johnson, the interim head coach for the Spurs, has also shown that it's a priority to get Wembanyama looks through ATOs. And I think it's because most of the Spurs' offensive game plan is focused on ensuring that Wembanyama is a threat from above the break. And through 17 games so far this season, that plan has been successful. Wembanyama ranks 14th in three-point makes from above the break, ahead of a couple guys you may know, Darius Garland, Damian Lillard, and Zach LaVine. And because he's been so good from downtown, it forces bigger defenders to play outside of the three-point line, away from the paint, and allows the Spurs to get into multiple different actions and get good looks at the rim. We just saw Wemby clean up a basket around the rim because the shot blocker was at the three-point line, and here's another example where Blake Wesley is able to get to the basket, and because Alexander Sarr has so far to come from, he's not able to get there in time to block the shot. The Spurs are 4th in the NBA in three-point attempts and typically have 5 guys up there who can shoot. It makes it near impossible to stop Wembanyama on actions like this. The three-point shot making has made it easier for Wemby inside the paint as well. He's at over 80% within the restricted area this year. This is an example of Alexander Sarr respecting his three-point shot, which creates an open look for Wemby. It's also allowed Wembanyama to be more effective as a passer. Here he's in the ball screen with Stephon Castle, and because there's no big men around the basket, Castle's able to make contact and finish easily to get the bucket. Chris Paul has also fit in nicely with this Spurs team, and the two-man actions with Wembanyama have been very positive. Here's an example of Valanciunas trying to play drop coverage against the pick and pop, and Wembanyama makes him pay. Here's another example of the Chris Paul Wembanyama pick and pop against the drop coverage. Here the help side defender actually does a nice job of rotating, but is just simply too small to affect Wemby's shot. And then in half-court offense, when your main shot blocker and rim protector is flying past Wemby's shot fake at 26, 27 feet, you know your defense is just doomed. And when he's able to shoot the ball like he has in the past couple of games, it makes all of the traits that make Wembanyama so great even more heightened. I just briefly want to go over some of the stats that have been so special so far this season for Wembanyama and the Spurs. The big number here is highlighted. The offense is 5% more efficient when Wemby is on the court, which is in the 90th percentile as far as on-off difference. So obviously, when Wemby's on the court, we've seen drawing the big man to the perimeter, and it makes everything so much easier for his teammates. In addition, he's been fantastic as a passer. He had a triple-double in his most recent game, and it's not hard to see why. Taking a look at some of these team stats as well, the Spurs are 7th in blocks allowed, and that again is attributed to Wembanyama bringing shot blockers to the perimeter, not just to the perimeter, to 27, 28, 29 feet at times. And because of the run that the Spurs have been on, they're up to 10th in the Western Conference at 11-9, just one game out of the 6th seed. They're 5-1 in their last 6, 7-3 in their last 10. A large part of that is Wembanyama, but Mitch Johnson has also done a great job. And then Steph Castle and CP3 have been huge as part of that run that they've. And the three-point shooting numbers for him are absolutely ridiculous. He's over 10 three-point attempts per 36. When you compare that to some of the better bigs of all time, Dirk Nowitzki, Kristaps Porzingis, Karl-Anthony Towns, that's higher than they've ever reached. I think the highest was like Kristaps Porzingis, averaged 8 in his 5th year with the Mavericks. And that's when he was shooting a bunch of above the break threes as well. But Wembanyama, for his age, for his size, is one of the most ridiculous shooters that we've seen, and may end up, he has the ceiling at least, to end up as sort of a hyper-modernized jumbo Kevin Durant offensively, who has a larger three-point shot diet than the mid-range that we see with Kevin Durant, and is one of the better defenders in the NBA. So this guy is absolutely the limit for Victor Wembanyama, and we're seeing where that potential may end up being with him as a three-point shooter.